Ross O'Loughlin here, and welcome to the second video here in this on-demand training series about the arrival of machine learning and artificial intelligence in the online education space, right? If you're running any sort of education-based business where you are consistently marketing in a digital environment, where you're doing most of your marketing and sales based on content and thinking and emails and ads, the arrival of these tools is, without sounding hypey, probably the biggest thing to have happened in living memory as far as I'm concerned. Going back to the advent of the internet, I don't think there's been really been a revelation like it. And I think it's going to behoove a lot of us to start familiarizing ourselves with these tools, like I talked about in the last video, but not get overly panicky, right? I'm kind of intentionally in this video series and in the emails I'm sending to it, kind of stating the impact and the importance. But I want to be clear, right? I'm not suggesting that you drop absolutely everything that you're working on and start focusing entirely on these tools, or start to find ways that you need to start some AI startup or repivot your entire business. That's not what I'm aiming for at all. I want you to start thinking about how you can integrate these tools into what you're already doing. And I just want to encourage you to start playing around with them now so you can see the possibilities, so that you can see where they might be useful to you, right? I'm using the analogy that these are like thought calculators, right? Calculators for thought work, for reading and for writing. And I 100% think that analogy is going to hold true. I'm going to show you why in this video. I'm going to give you some demonstrations, and we're going to talk about how you can actually use this to write ads. I'm going to show you multiple ways you can use these tools, as I said, like thought calculators. And we're going to start with showing you how to do research for an ad, how to write an ad, how to do better marketing. But we're going to roll into another video then where we're going to talk about how to use these for other thought exercises, right? There's a lot of people out there telling you, here's how to write copy and how to do your marketing, and that's fine. That's great. But if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, is that is just scratching the surface, right? There is so much more you can do with these tools than just using it to make you faster at writing your marketing copy and content, as we're going to talk about. And I want to demonstrate that to you. And then we're going to show you how to actually use the tools, right? So we're going to start straight away with doing it. Now, in the last video, we talked about the problems, and we kind of started on the key principles for how to use these tools, right? I'm going to quickly show you the key principles again, recapping kind of the end of the last video, and then we're going to unpack each of these key principles in this video and in the next, so you actually know, okay, what do I need to be doing? How do I need to be thinking about using these tools without getting freaked out by them, without thinking that they're going to take my job, and without thinking that if I don't start using them and integrating them immediately, I'm going to fall behind. I am going to encourage you, over the next few months, you are going to want to look at these tools and make sure you're not checking in a year or two and thinking oh my God, everyone else is using these and now I have to start thinking about it. Get the ball moving now, right? That's what I'm suggesting you do. Now, key principles, right? 5 key principles that I wanted to talk through. Number 1, when you're using these tools, talk to it like an assistant. I'm going to demonstrate this in a minute as we write an ad, but what I want you to think about is this is literally going to be putting you in the position of being a director, right? When we're talking about thought calculating, it's going to be cool. I want this. I want this. I want this. To go from point A to point B requires you to go through step 1, step 2, and step 3 before you do step 4, right? It's exactly how you do math, right? You got to multiply 4 by 2, and then you're going to divide it by 3. That's going to give you the total number, and then you got to divide that by the 100 to get the percentage. Whatever the process is to get to the number, what you need to do in that sense, and you're just tapping it into the calculator. You're going to do the same thing here, but you're going to talk to it like an assistant while you are doing it, okay? So we're going to demonstrate that and this principle together, right? How to use it like a thought calculator and how to talk to it like an assistant, right? You need to think of using it like a calculator, but at the same time, use it like an assistant. So let's switch over here to a demonstration and show you what I mean. All right, so here we are in the tool ChatGPT 3, right? If you have our ChatGPT, right? OpenAI's revolutionary new tool that they've released. This is one version of essentially machine learning text generators, meaning you're going to give it a prompt and it's going to use machine learning to basically spit an output that's going to satisfy you and what you're looking for. Now, it does a really good job at doing it, right? If you haven't played around with it, go to chat.openai, open up an account, and you're going to see a platform like this, right? Real quick, you have different abilities to start new chats on the left here, up in the top left, which is going to let you start a new archive, start a new chat in which you can maintain, like as you can see here, like a chat essentially where you're talking to it about a specific topic. Now, what I'm going to show you here is we're going to go through a specific chat that I used to write the latest ad that I've published for my business. Right now, I'm really happy with this ad. Is it going to work and be the best ad ever? Like, I have no idea, right? Can't tell you how many times as a copywriter I think an ad's going to work, it falls flat, and then you think an ad's okay, it does great, or you think it's good and it shows out. Like, your estimation of what the market's going to respond to isn't usually all that good. But what's a really good job as a copywriter is to create a bunch of copy and then see which is the version that works. Okay, so I'm very happy with the output from this ad. Just to be upfront though, we don't know yet how it's going to shake out. The initial numbers are looking good, and let's actually just give you a quick look at the ad here. All right, so here's the ad, right? I'm just going to show you here. There's a number of 5 opening lines because we're testing 5 different openings for this ad. It's for a tool, a lead magnet called the Conversion Timeline Calculator. And here's the ad, right? Let's just read one of the openings and you can see what it is here. So, hey, education business owner, do you know exactly how long it takes new leads to convert into your course or program? If not, you could use my Conversion Timeline Calculator. It's a simple tool that helps you blah, 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 blah. Without knowing this metric, these are the negatives that you will experience, right? You'll churn and burn through tons of leads. You'll miss out on tons of conversions you'd otherwise convert. You turn off the best sources of long-term leads, and you'd waste a fortune on ads and expensive advertising, right? This sweet new resource includes a bunch of benefit statements, right? Simple way to effectively track your student conversion timeline, proven method for the ideal moment to reach out to leads, easy method to uncover hidden pockets of students in your audience, a guide on how to design the ideal length of your funnel, increasing conversions, analysis method to compare the core difference between your best and worst customers, and a segmenting tool to identify the best source of leads that convert the fastest for you, right? And then wrapping it up with the tool, you'll get blah, 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 blah. Don't let a lack of understanding of your audience's conversion timeline hold you back. Start making smart, data-driven decisions. Find the right moment to convert people. Maximize your ROI with confidence. No more guessing. Your future students will thank you, right? And then a bunch of headlines here down the bottom to go with it, right? So testing a number of opening lines, the body copy there, and then a number of Facebook headlines that are going to appear below the image, right? Now, pretty good ad, right? Like it's an ad. Like, is it going to be the world's greatest converting ad? That's the new lead magnet for our business. We'll find out. But what I will point out is that it was super quick and easy to create because it was A, I have an understanding of my market, but also B, I know how to write an ad, and C, I used AI in the process to augment my process and just shortcut the creative process in a lot of places and enhance it, right? Now, I want to show you how we did that, okay? So if we switch over here, and we're talking about how to talk to the AI as if it's a person. First question we asked are, what are the top pain points for online business owners who want to sell more courses? Right? And then it comes back here and it gives a bunch of items, right? Low visibility, low perceived value, difficulty in building trust, competition, difficulty in pricing, difficulty in measuring ROI, difficulty in scaling, difficulty in marketing and promoting. All of which is accurate, right? Like, I look at this output and I'm like, yeah, that matches my market. It's a little vague. My specific market has slightly different pain points or versions of these pain points, which is fine. This is a general, what this output is, you need to be clear, is the model that they're using to generate this has just gone out and eaten up all of the internet, right? It's just digested all of the internet to understand how are people talking about these topics. And if you ask it to do something, it finds all the kind of relevant words that it thinks are going to give you a satisfactory answer. And it does a pretty good job here, right? Now, if we go back here, we go back to the AI tool, and we have all of these. We now have a list of 8 pain points, okay? To demonstrate what you can do while thinking like a calculator and also asking it to work like an assistant, right? You can just ask it, give me a headline for each. And so here now I have come up with 8 headlines very rapidly based on the pain points of the market, right? So low visibility hinders online course sales. Online course creators struggle with low perceived value. Building trust, a challenge for online course creators. Crowded market, blah, 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 blah. These are okay, but they're headlines, right? Now, the next thing, I'm looking at this output and I'm saying, okay, these are good, but these are not what I'm looking for, right? What I'm looking for are more kind of like headlines that I can put at the top of an article, right? Or headlines I can put in a Facebook ad, okay? And here I say, great, let's make them clickbait headlines, teasing solutions to a problem, okay? So now what it's going to do is it's going to take each of these headlines, and I've just done the thought calculator. So boom, 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 make them clickbait, right? And it only took me like 30 seconds to do this, essentially. But now we've gone from pain points to headlines, which are okay, right? Like unlock the secret to boosting visibility and increasing online course sales. Stand out from the competition and drive more online course sales. Discover the key to pricing your online course for maximum profitability. Unlock the secret to scaling your online course for sustainable growth. Learn the art of promoting your course effectively and consistently to drive more sales. Right? Again, like not great, but not bad. Within 30 seconds, I have got a number of headlines here that are usable. Now, I wouldn't personally use these myself out the bat, but they've given me ideas on what potentially we can articulate or focus on when we're coming up with what we're going to talk about in the ad, right? Pretty good stuff. Okay. Then I asked it, hey, where did you learn this? Right? Talking to it like it's an assistant. And it basically says, hey, I digested a whole bunch of blog courses and a whole bunch of blogs about online courses. I listened to experts. Basically, it's saying I just ate up the internet in a more sophisticated way. Now, this is really where I want you to start seeing the value of this, right? Now, there's a big difference between a pain point and a problem. I know this. I try to get all my clients to understand this, right? The world of online marketing is very much focused on like, there's an amalgamation of words and they all kind of, people use them differently in different senses and it can kind of get confusing. But a problem is the thing that is going wrong that you will fix. The pain point is the issue that they are looking at, is where they feel the pinch, right? If the problem is stones are getting into your shoes, the pain point is, your foot is starting to bleed and you have so bad you have to stop and take your shoe off because there's a rock stuck under your foot, right? Very different scenarios, right? The problem might be that your boot laces aren't wrapped using the right strategy or you're using the wrong type of shoe, but the pain point, which is what is going to cause someone to go look for a solution, is different. Okay, so I wanted to know, okay, great, we have these pain points. We have these pain points. What is the underlying problem between the pain point and the problem that's causing it? Low visibility. The underlying problem here is that the online course creators may not have an effective strategy in place to reach potential customers and raise awareness. Low perceived value. Underlying problem is that online courses may not be effectively communicating the value of their courses to potential customers, which can make it difficult to generate sales. I'll tell you 100% that's exactly one of the problems I helped my clients solve. And it's after nailing it here, once I coached it and started thinking getting it to think like a thought calculator, right? I'm very quickly now getting down to the core problem underlying some of these pain points, which is going to make writing the advertising far more effective, right? Now, for the purposes of what we're talking about here, what I want to point out is we zeroed in here on one of the problems and pain points, which was difficulty in marketing and promoting, right? The underlying problem is that the online course creators may not have a clear understanding of how to create effective marketing campaigns and promotion strategy for their course, which make it difficult to generate sales. Now, I know my market well enough to know that that's exactly right, but this is the core of what we're going to use at the core of the ad that we're creating, right? So we've very quickly gone from what are the pain points of my market to understanding what are some potential ideas to what's the underlying problem that we're actually solving here. And now we have something that is the basis for an ad. We've done that very quickly by just talking to it like an assistant and treating it like a thought calculator, meaning, cool, so that's that. I need this next. Great. Now that we have this, we're going to move on to this next step and I want you to do this, right? Rather than having to force yourself to sit down and go, what are the pain points and what will be the underlying problem, right? You're very quickly able to get accurate, but maybe not precise answer. I would say all of these answers are accurate. Looking at them from my market, I'm like, yeah, that's about right, but it's not exactly the way that they would articulate it. And so I can quickly edit it to match the language of my market and my voice and my message that I've developed over, years. So here we are, right? In this point in the process, I talk to the ChatGPT 3 like it's, again, like an assistant. And I'm asking it, okay, great. Now I want your help creating some advertising. I want you to act as an advertiser to help me write a Facebook ad for online course creators and coaches, right? We will refer to these groups as education business owners, and we will reference the pain points, problems that we've had in this discussion to make our marketing attractive. So I'm giving it the context and saying, this is what we're going to do. I want you to think about all this stuff that we've just worked on, and now we're going to take that data set and we're going to start creating some advertising with it, right? This is very, again, like a thought calculator. You figure the stuff out, right? You figure out the base numbers you're working with, and now you're like, cool, I need to do a further round of calculations to kind of get where we want to go, right? If you've ever operated in a spreadsheet, this is basically how it works, okay? Now, what I want to show you here is I'm going to tell it what we're going to do, and then I'm going to specifically say, again, this is what I did in my process. But I want you to provide you with a sample ad, and then I will tell you the tool that we will advertise, and we will create a new ad from my business based on the template. Okay. So what I'm saying is all these pain points we've been talking about, we're going to pour them into the ad. I'm going to give you a template ad, and I want you to rewrite this ad based on my problems and pain points from my market that we've been speaking about. Okay. And it goes, yes, I understand. And then I said, the tool we will be sharing with them is a conversion timeline calculator. This tool is a simple spreadsheet that will help them understand how long it takes their leads to convert into paying students and clients, okay? Again, notice talking to it like it's an assistant and giving it the context for it to go and do the thought calculation, okay? It'll help them understand how long it takes their leads to convert into paying students and clients. This is important because most education business owners don't realize how long it takes, and it usually takes far longer than they realize. So they won't be able to correctly design their marketing efforts to match the timeline for conversions for their market. Okay? So again, giving it the context and tying it back to the problem that we had, right? Problem, or I pointed out earlier on, is they do not have the effective marketing strategies in place. They don't understand the difficulty of it, and they don't understand how to convert people. And so I'm just basically saying, yes, exactly that. But the reason it's important is because people convert over a longer time frame, which is a core part of my message that I'm integrating into this. Okay, so again, don't expect the tool to be able to come in and just produce the ad exactly like you're looking for it. You have to have the message, and you have to treat this like a thought calculator, give it the inputs, and then correct its outputs. Okay, so this is the instructions I give it, and then here's the sample ad, right? And here's an ad that I wanted to model. It's an ad I've seen around the place online right now at the moment. It's doing very well because I'm seeing it constantly for the last few months. I'm like, this ad must be working, so let's try and replicate it. Okay, so it's an ad from Ryan Deiss's company Scalable. And so business owners, I'm not going to read this ad, but it's business owners, do you know this number? If not, you need this tool. It will help you do A, B, and C. The tool includes X, Y, and Z. Okay, now if I look at what it produced, it was pretty poor. Right? Attention, business owners. Are you tired of guessing how long it takes for your leads to convert into paying students and clients? Now, again, not a bad first line. It got what my tool is about, but it's not matching the ad that I wanted to match, right? It goes, introducing the conversion timeline calculator. Our simple spreadsheet tool will give you a blah, 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 blah. So here it's doing a good job of modeling my message, but it's not doing a good job of modeling the ad that I wanted to model. So I said, you didn't model the ad I shared with you. Talking it like an assistant, basically saying, go back and do it again. And it goes, I apologize. Thought you wanted to do this. And then it came back and it gave me this. Online business owners, are you tired of guessing how long it takes? Introducing the conversion timeline calculator, blah, 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 blah. Unlock the hidden pockets in your audience and start converting leads into paying customers today. Not bad, right? Like, okay, we'll give it like a C plus B minus. And it included the bullet points this time, right? An exclusive resource includes monthly conversion build, match your timeline model, quick way to pinpoint the ideal moment to reach out to leads, insights on where your business is standing right now in the conversion process, match your marketing efforts to your market's timeline, an easy way to use a template to get clarity around complicated conversion models. Now, what it's doing is it's basically, if we go back and look at the ad, it's like trying to copy these and pour my language into them. And some of them work great. Some of them are not good, right? Like this one makes no sense. An easy to use template to get clarity around complicated conversion models. Like for my market and the tool, it's just like, that doesn't make sense. But I don't care. It's given me 5 bullets that I can work with and make decisions around and say, is this accurate? Is this precise or not? And it's now gotten me further along the thought process, right? And I can now tell it, cool, now let's go do this part, right? Multiply by 3. That's not the right answer yet. Multiply it by 3. Take this next step, okay? Okay, you did an okay job with the bullets, but the opening doesn't follow the template, right? That's really what I'm seeing here was, okay, you did an okay job. This is closer, but you're still way off at the start here, okay? And then it came in and it said, business owners, are you tired of guessing how long it takes for your leads to convert into paying students? If so, you need the conversion timeline calculator. Our simple spreadsheet will give you a clear understanding of the timeline for your conversion in your market so you can correctly design your marketing efforts to match. Unlock hidden pockets in your audience and start converting leads. And then it gave me these bullet points again, same ones. And now we have an ad, right? Again, I'm not going to publish this ad, but very quickly with like 3 prompts, I was able to give it a template ad. And now I have a working ad that, again, I will need to edit it here, right? I'm not going to be taking any of the output from this ad, and I'm not going to be getting it to do anything that I would like expect to publish it, right? As the person who's in charge of the copy, I'm treating it like it's an assistant that's coming back to me, and I'm taking responsibility for getting it shipped, right? Just like I would if I was working with a junior writer or with one of my clients. I'm directing it and I'm coaching it and making sure that we're getting it to the place where it's good enough, okay? Now that we've got an ad that's like reasonably okay here, right? Again, I'm not expecting to ship this. I'm going to give it a heavy edit. I said, great. Can you give me 10 emotional opening lines for that ad? Are you tired of feeling frustrated with your conversion rates? Do you want to unlock the hidden potential in your audience? Are you ready to turn leads into paying customers? Are you tired of guessing when the right time is to reach out to leads? Do you want to know the exact timeline of conversions in your market, right? All of these are good. They're good. Are they great? No, but they're giving me ideas, right? I typed it into the thought calculator and now it's done the work for me, and it's given me 10 options. 10 options here for me to be able to understand what possibly could I be putting in this opening line for this ad, okay? I said, perfect. Now give me 10 different names for the tool. Now, I already know that I'm going to call it the conversion timeline calculator, but is that the best name possible? Maybe, maybe not, right? I decided to say, well, what would it come up with? Give me 10 names for the tool, and it gave me all of these. Now, I'm not going to read them out. You can pause and look at them here if you like. Some of them are okay. Some of them are pretty generic. And I said, just try again. All right. And then it didn't really give me anything. And after I got these, I was like, it's not coming up with anything that's kind of remotely interesting. I just made the decision at this point. Let's go ahead with the tool that we've got. It's not going to be a big leverage point. I think the one that we have is good. So let's just continue writing the ad. Now I said, okay, write me some more compelling bullets for the ad, teasing the value of the tool. Okay. And it gave me these. And again, some of them were pretty good, right? I was looking at the ad and I was like, okay, these bullets are kind of okay, but they're not great. Some of them are in here, but let's just rewrite and get 20 bullets and then decide which ones we're going to put in, right? Very quickly here, it spat out some ones that are good, right? Discover the exact timeline for conversions to design your marketing efforts to match. Uncover hidden pockets of students in your audience and start converting leads into paying customers, right? Gain a competitive edge by knowing the ideal moment to reach out to your leads. Easily pinpoint where your business stands in the conversion timeline process, right? Again, a lot of these were good, and I started to copy them into my document, right? I didn't necessarily going to copy and paste this list of bullets, but I'm like, there's good material here, right? what I want you to pay attention to is what we're doing in the conversion process is we're just coming up with lots of ideas. At this point, I have like 15, 20 good ideas to get into this ad. And then it's going to be my job to start deciding, how do I organize these, right? How am I starting to turn what it's giving me into the finished product? Okay. I said, great. Now what I want you to do is give me 5 compelling logical reasons why this tool will resonate with the market. And then give me 5 emotional tools why the tool will resonate with the market. And then it gave me these items. Again, I'm not going to read them out, but I'm showing you the thought calculator. I want 5 emotional reasons. I want 5 logical reasons. Because I know in my process, in my calculation process, to get the outcome of strong ad, I need emotional and logical reasons for why someone would want this thing. So here it gave me the 5 logical reasons. It gave me the 5 emotional reasons. And I was like, great. Using those logical and emotional reasons, let's do another draft of the ad. Weave in as many of the emotional and logical reasons as you can and bounce back and forth between the two, right? I know when I'm writing copy, that's what I want, right? Emotional appeal, logical appeal. Emotional appeal, logical appeal. Get them excited, have them feel like it makes sense, right? That's what you want from your advertising for it to look to resonate and be good. And this is what it gave me, right? Are you tired? And blah, 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 right? And again, this was not bad. Now, as you can see, it forgot the bullet points. And I'm okay with that, right? I said, rewrite the ad, and it understood that to get rid of the bullet points. But what it started to put in here, again, was more ideas that actually made it into the final ad, right? Our tool provides actionable insights on where your business stands, right? Make data-driven decisions and maximize your ROI. That is not something that I had thought of when I came into writing this ad, like make data-driven decisions. But I was like, that's the perfect logical reason. Now, I've never mentioned that in my other advertising, which makes sense. It makes sense for my brand because I'm conversion engineering, and I absolutely encourage my clients to make data-driven decisions, but I never put it in an ad. But as I saw this, I was like, that's a solid logical reason to someone would want to download this calculator. Would I have come up with that by myself? Maybe, right? As soon as I saw it here as it was produced, I was like, yes, that absolutely is going to go into the ad. Okay. Now, I said, that's a good starting point. Now let's work in these bullets. So what I did was I went back and I looked at the bullets that it gave me and the bullets that it had produced throughout the various drafts, and I had copied them into a document. And I said, great, I want you to take these specific bullets and work it into the ad. Okay. Again, thought calculator. Go and do the writing for me. All right. Here it is. It gives me a version. Again, if you want to read this, you can pinpoint it. Not the final version, but you can see what is coming out from it as it was working. All right. I said, not bad, could be better. And it said, can you tell me the improvements? I said, I just wanted it to try again because I've used the tool enough that I know sometimes you ask it to just try again, and you re-roll the dice and you get a better outcome that's closer to what you're looking for. Okay. So here we go. And then I asked it, I had fun with it. I said, how would you think this Facebook ad could be improved? And it gave me a bunch of ideas here. And I was like, let's forget those, right? I'm going to skip over them. It said, like, have a compelling headline, have a compelling image, use social proof, offer a clear call to action, test and optimize. I was like, all right, let's get back to actually writing the headlines. Okay. So asked it to write 10 emotional headlines for the ad, right? Some of them were okay. And then I said, give me 10 clickbait headlines. And here were some of them. Okay. Again, very quickly asking it for content, asking it for ideas, and it's producing it, right? If it were me and I had to sit down and write 10 clickbait headlines, like I'm a pro at this, right? It's still going to take me way more time than what I see here, right? If I can just get it to produce the ideas, then tell me, here, this one, give me 10 variations of this one, or give me 10 more. I can very quickly see what I want more of and what I want less of, right? And I can give it feedback and I can say, I don't like this, I do like that, give me more of this, okay? As we go through here, I basically had been taking all of the copy and I had been pasting it into a doc, and I've been writing a version of the ad myself based on what it had been producing, right? I want you to understand that, right? I'm not expecting the tool to write the ad. right? I'm expecting the tool to write versions of an ad and to write ideas. And then I'm going to take those out and actually do the work myself. I'm the person in charge of operating the calculator in terms of getting it to the right answer. I'm not expecting the tool to actually be able to do the math, right? That's really what I want you to understand. So I had been writing a version of the ad, and you can see here, I was like, awesome, rework this ad to make it tighter, but don't remove any of the fundamental pieces. So I had written the ad, right? A version of the ad, and here it was, and I just wanted to tighten it up. I felt this ad was good, but it needed to be tighter. And then it gave me this version, which was good. And I said, that's a little too tight. Have a little more detail. And it gave me this. Okay? Now, again, some of the language here you'll notice is the same as what was in the final version of the ad, right? And that's great. Then I was like, well, what are some of the disasters and mistakes that someone might make by not knowing the key metric that we're calculating? And it gave me these. And I said, fantastic, right? I knew, because I wanted in my ad, that's like, if you don't have this metric, you're going to make these mistakes. And I was just like, well, it's already in the zone here, understanding what it is I'm looking for from this market. I've corrected it a little bit. So what are the mistakes that you think we would have here? Now, I'm not expecting it to nail the mistakes, but I am expecting it to give me ideas so I can go, oh yeah, those are the 3 that we will choose. So frustration, disappointment, missed opportunities, right? Give me the mistakes they might make. Launching campaigns too soon, not nurturing leads effectively, overlooking key metrics, not being able to identify the best sources of leads. And I was like, that is so true. That is actually accurate for my market. I wasn't thinking of that at this moment in time, right? As I was writing the ad, like it's absolutely something I talk about with my market on the back end. Was it something that I was thinking or intending to put in this ad? No. So this tool now has given me something that I would have missed or that I may have missed in this ad, right? Not having the ideal funnel length. Again, same thing. I had no intention here of mentioning like how long your funnel is. And now, as soon as I saw this, I was like, that's a very, very compelling angle. We're going to make that the focus of the ad, right? So again, I know the process that we need to go through, right, to create a compelling ad. And as we're doing this, I'm getting it to give me ideas. And then I'm the one curating those ideas out, because now we have too many good ideas. And I got to decide which ideas are we putting at the core of the ad, okay? Now, this is the part where I want you to start seeing, right, that this is not just about copy. Again, it's about using this as a thinking tool to help you get to better places, okay? So I know in my funnel, once someone opts in for the lead magnet, after the lead magnet, I want to offer a second offer. I want to offer an upsell of some sort. The upsell I currently use is I say, hey, would you like to have a call with us so we can add some value to your world? We call this a call magnet. And what we want to have is we want the call magnet to be relevant to the tool that they're downloading. So I know they're downloading a calculator tool to see how long it takes people to convert. And now I want to know, okay, well, on the other side, I want to have a call magnet that is an upsell, that's thematically consistent with the problem that they're downloading. Okay? So very cool here. I said, for anyone that downloads the calculator tool, I'm going to offer a short 15-minute call to speak with me afterwards. What are 10 different ways the person could find that call useful? Okay. And it gave me 10 different reasons. And I was like, this is really interesting, because now I have 10 different reasons, 10 different angles that I can position that call around. Okay. And then I said, fantastic. I want a name for each of these calls, right? Make the title specific to the benefit that you mentioned in each, and use and relevant to the target market that we've been talking about. So again, talking to it like it's an assistant and telling it, I want you to calculate these thoughts out. Go and do it. Uncovering hidden cash, not bad. Understanding your audience, and then designing the perfect funnel, right? A 15-minute call to increase my conversions and lower churn. And I was like, oh, this is quite interesting, right? I had not thought about, let's have a call where I'll help you design out the perfect length of your funnel, right? Not an idea I had had before, but something that a lot of my market comes to me for help with, okay? And I said, fantastic. Let's now give each of these calls a handle, right? Give me some ideas for what we could call these calls, right? Not bad. And down here, I saw funnel length optimizer session. And I was like, that's the name of it, right? Now, I didn't end up going specifically with this name, but I was like, that concept is what we're going to go with for the call, okay? And then I'm not going to like go through the rest of this from here because I want to keep this video as short as possible. But you can see from here, the next step was, okay, how do I come up with the copy to make that ad or the ad on the landing page, the confirmation page for the call, the offer to introduce it? How do I make that compelling? And I just went through the same process that I went through for the ad, right? What are the logical reasons? What are the emotional reasons? And I just started to construct the copy and worked on the name. And from there was able to whip out the page and the offer for that call magnet very, 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 very quickly, right? Now, just want to recap what we've done here, right? I want to show you that, like, yes, you can use this tool to write your copy and to create content for you very quickly, right? I can say, write an article on ABC topic, and it will spit something out, but frankly, it's not really going to be that useful. And the reason it's not going to be that useful is because like there's just too many variables in how it thinks. It doesn't think like you. It's not trained on your voice. It's not trained on your message. And it's going to spit out something that's pretty generic, right? The output is based on the world, okay? If you are looking to get good results out of this thing, you have to treat it like a thought calculator, right? Give it some inputs, tell it what you want to talk about, and then take it through the creative process that you know you need to go through to get a good outcome. You can see the process I've taken it through, right? I'm familiar with the process of how we're going to go from generic pain points to understanding the problem, right? To focusing on one problem in your ad, to then going, here's the tool. How do we make the tool relevant to the problem and the pain points? And then how do we make sure it's logically and emotionally appealing to the person that you're trying to advertise to, right? And I also know the components of an ad. And again, you can see here, I never got it to actually write the final ad, right? What you don't see here is the Google Doc I had off to the side where I'm copying and pasting the stuff in and actually writing the ad myself, because that is just more time efficient to do, right? Trying to give the tool feedback to have it give the perfect output is very, very time consuming. But if you just give it if you treat it like a thought calculator to give you the components of what you need to be able to create an effective email or a campaign or a lead magnet or a landing page, whatever it is, you're going to have a way better output. You're going to have far richer ideas, and your copy is just going to be far more compelling and engaging, right? But again, notice that the process I've gone through here is not getting it to write copy. It is talking to it like an assistant and treating it like a thought calculator, all right? So just wanted to recap that for you. Now, want to kind of just wrap up here this video, make sure that we don't go over time. Right, hope this demonstration was useful. In the next video, we're going to be talking a little bit more about some of the key principles that I want you to understand here. Right, so right here, we talked about talking to it like an assistant, and we talked about how to use it like a thought calculator. Right, really, really powerful. If you integrate just those two principles, you are going to be flying it with this thing, right? Now, key principles we're going to cover in the next video are, number one, train your AI. I'm going to show you what I mean by that, and I'm going to show you what the difference it will make, right? Just like an assistant, right? Like if you ask it for the first thing and it comes back, it's probably not going to be right. You need to coach it, you need to correct it, you need to give it the right definitions of things, and you need to understand where it is right and where it is wrong. Do not expect it to be giving you the perfect outputs. But if you train it, it's going to give you far better outputs than if you don't. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of it as well, right? As you'll also see here, right, we're going to give you an actual demonstration of this, but you've kind of seen this already. Quality comes through quantity, right? I'm going to unpack this in an actual a video about the creative process and how to leverage this tool like a mofo for that. But the idea here is you can see the quality of my ad did not come from me sitting down and writing one good ad. The quality of my ad came from me sitting down and asking this tool for an insane quantity of ideas, and then me having a healthy enough creative process to identify this is relevant, that is not. I'm going to take this out and curate it into the final output, right? That is really what you want to be doing with these tools, is using it as a quantity generator, and then you curate out the ideas that are relevant, or ask it to riff on certain ideas so you can take the quality ideas and turn those also into the quantity of ideas, right? The problem we're solving here is not having enough good ideas. This is a massive solution to that, right? And last but not least, define your creative process, right? If you have not done this, it is going to be super, super, super important, because frankly, like if you don't have a healthy creative process, it's just going to gum up the works with a whole bunch of stuff that you don't know how to move forward, right? So this can be your creative process for writing emails. It can be the creative process for creating content for your market. Maybe it's the creative process in your own industry where you're helping your clients, right? But understand the creative process and how to go from idea to from intention to create something, to ideas that it could be something, right? To then through to generation of ideas, curating them, and then selecting the ones that are relevant and turning those into the final product, right? I'm telling you, like having a healthy creative process is going to be the big distinguishing factor between people who can use these tools effectively and those who can't, okay? So hopefully this video was really interesting. In the next one, I'm going to dive deeper and we're going to show you how to use this tool to do way higher value work than just copywriting, right? This was an illustration of how to do it for the kind of hypey, kind of like, oh my God, how do you write? It can write copy. Like, yes, that is useful. You can see how to use it. We also introduced the idea of using it like a thought calculator. In the next video, I want to show you how to use this as a thought calculator for the types of thought work that are just like magnitudes more valuable than writing copy. All right, so check that video out. It's going to be coming tomorrow. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this. And if you have any questions, hit me up an email. I'd love to hear how you're thinking about using these tools. If you've tried to use these tools, what you're using them for, and what you're excited about. Right. So this has been Ross O'Loughlin. Cheers for watching. Catch you in the next video.